All right, welcome everybody. So, start kicking off the pre-show strong. We are in for a good week. We're in for a really good week, actually. Apparently, there's an ad playing.
Is there still ad playing?
Yeah. Apparently, Twitch has decided to
decide to try and fuck us.
Like 30 seconds before we went live, I hit for a 30-second ad so that when we went live, it would be cleared. And it took that as, no, we're gonna go for 2 minutes.
The fuck?
Twitch, get your shit together. Like,
yeah, that's just
buttons need to mean what they're labeled as.
Exactly. That is just unacceptable.
Yeah. You wonder why you're getting your ass handed to you by YouTube.
Exactly. Christ.
Yeah. So we got all kinds of good stuff going on. We have information on some new stuff. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that came out last week in a little bit more depth. Also dealing with kind of the community reaction to it. We're going to talk about not believing everything you see on the internet. Because, believe it or not, not everybody has your best interest in mind, and not everybody is actually telling the truth. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who need to hear that.
I'm shocked. You mean someone on the internet has been lying?
Oh. I mean,
fuck. This changes everything.
Yeah. It's almost like there's been a global conspiracy of misinformation on a number of different topics.
You talk about global conspiracies and shit like that. I mean, we are the New World Order shape,
yes,
but
we are the New World
more
Order.
New World than New World Order.
Yeah.
In all honesty. But talking about global conspiracies for a second. The whole kind of like this whole like back like a year, 2 years ago, there was this whole kind of like, the World Health Organization is like, sort of some sort of like super powerful secretive organization sort of thing, right? You know where that I watched something and I was like, this really reminds me of all of that bullshit conspiracy theories, that was circulating. You know what that was? You know what I watched?
What's that?
Inferno, the third of the Darren Brown, like Da Vinci Code, fucking films. It was like entirely that, and I was like, now I know where every fucking idiot got this from.
Yeah.
It was like the World Health Organization has like, some sort of like assassination style, like, covert hit squad thing going on. Like, you are talking about the World Health Organization, right? Fucking hell.
Oh, too true. Too true. So some interesting things. Apparently Steam is having just dominant year. They've gained almost 3 million concurrent users.
Nice.
So, absolutely showing dominance in the market for in a market that I don't think there's a lot of players that want them to have that. Like, people want there to be one game launcher. They don't want there to be 6 of them.
Yeah.
And I think Steam just plays well with more people.
I'm annoyed at the amount of game launchers that I have actually like installed on my computer right now. Like, it's just too many.
Yeah. Like, I know I'm not a fan. I had to install the Epic game launcher earlier, and I was like, great, so now the Chinese have my information. Not that they didn't have it before, but
And now you can be certain.
Some reason, like, there's just about nothing I can do to, like, flesh out the actual color on my stream with green as the background.
That is strange. So you need to set up a custom like command for that, like, you know, saying something along the lines of like, "Echo, I'm feeling angry today."
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently red basically what I'm doing is at this point I'm adding back my Christmas theme, and that'll give me a little bit more color because apparently I'm a ghost.
Well, yeah, I think if you got an automatic, like, you know, white balance going on, it sees a whole bunch of red and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we need to lighten this the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had the green before, and green just doesn't. The light version of green is white.
Ah, yeah. No,
I was trying to color balance off that, and was not hitting the mark.
I like setting my color balance, setting my like shutter speed and ISO, and that is it. It doesn't fucking change, doesn't do anything. I can fucking change shit. Like, you know, the way that I have it set up here is like my ISO, my white color balance, my all that kind of stuff is like set, doesn't move. And so long as I have all of my lights set up in the right place, the same brightness, which they always are because it's just like an on off and that's it. You know, then everything's the same every time.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been debating actually switching a lot of the lights in my apartment. Most of them are smart lights, but I want a little bit more control and I want less ecosystems going on here. It's like I've got 2 lights from one company, 4 from another, you know, and it's, if I need to troubleshoot anything, I gotta unscrew a light bulb to figure out what fucking brand it is.
Yeah, that's a bit of a pain. But yeah,
it's getting to be a bit much.
You know what I was looking at like somewhat recently? It's like I kind of realized that, you know, there's this huge market for like iPhones and stuff where you can get sort of like almost snap-on kind of lenses and stuff for iPhones and iPhone cameras, right? I thought to myself, like, if they can do that with iPhone cameras, surely they do that to some degree with GoPros, right?
Yeah, it should be able to.
And so, yeah, so I thought like, okay, well maybe I can get like a, you know, like a lens adapter or maybe like a short sort of, you know, a sort of short focus lens for my GoPro that I'm using right now. Turns out that yes, they do various different things, but you have to like, for the best kind of ones, you have to basically get them custom made, or like custom re-engineered as such. But like there's this place that can basically get custom, like a custom front put on it, with an adapter that you can actually put basically all different types of lenses, and adapters to other different types of lenses, on the front of a GoPro, which is like really cool, except it costs a fuckload. So I'm there thinking to myself like, is it easier or cheaper to just get a, you know, a good DSLR and a, you know, short focus like f1.4, you know, 33mm lens, or go through the whole rigmarole of getting it custom made, getting a custom front to the GoPro, and being able to put, you know, various different things on it. But yeah, I wonder. What I did find out is I can actually get a custom, like the sort of the whole kind of like the internal lens. I can get a screw-in alternative one, which has like manual focusing, and that might be quite useful. And that was I think that's around like $150. So that's amazing, considering that I could get some like decent like a bokeh like a background kind of thing, like a blurred background potentially with it. I just don't know because there's not enough reviews of it around to that kind of show that kind of thing. Plus it's a company that actually I think it's actually a Russian company as well that makes it. So that's pretty cool. I only say that because it seems that we have a few Russian people in chat. Hi, by the way.
I'm gonna slaughter my Russian here, but for those that are new, our pre-show content is basically us just chatting about different stuff, having some fun, chatting with you guys. Occasionally there's New World content in the pre-show, but the actual show itself starts at 7 Eastern time. So this is kind of our way to let people file in and just have that like just chatting, get to know you type section.
Yeah, this is sort of us unwinding as such,
mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
There are drops. They're the Wheel of Time drops. It's the last night to get them.
So if you haven't got your last drops from Wheel of Time, then definitely do so. We'll be here for 2 hours, I think, easily.
Yep, you'll want to monitor this page. Make sure that you got the New World campaign open every hour. You can collect one of the skins.
Yeah, you have to collect the skin for the next hour to start and progress to your next drop, basically.
See, I had hoped that they would just leave it at, let me run it for 7 hours and call it a night. Like,
oh, I know. I thought that too, and then I came back and it was like, congratulations, you've got 1 drop of 7. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting way to run it. It works. Like, I managed to get all of them a while ago at this point, but it's been like it's a pretty good campaign as far as like crossovers go. Like, it's a pretty decent crossover because it doesn't really impact the lore. It just gives skins that look like they fit the image of the game. They just overall it works, unlike certain games in their recent crossovers like EVE Online and Doctor Who, which is not a space-based not like a space-based combat thing.
No.
They didn't really have the CGI budget for that.
There's a lot less F-bombs and C-bombs in Doctor Who than there are in, in EVE Online fleets, I feel.
Yeah.
As well.
Too true. Too true.
Although, to be fair, if you do look at Peter Capaldi's previous acting, previous acting kind of what is it, characters? Let's put it that way, right? Because Peter Capaldi was not the current one, but the previous Doctor Who. He was also Malcolm Tucker of The Thick of It and In the Loop, and he does a fair amount of F-bombs and C-bombs. So, I guess there's that.
Oh yeah. So let's see, in some gaming news, apparently Steam is offering refunds for Battlefield 2042 because it is considered to be in such a broken state that I'm still not able to play a whole round of it, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
Last I heard, there was 2 to 3 times more people playing Battlefield 5 than Battlefield 2042.
And 5 wasn't that popular of a game.
5 wasn't exactly that great either. I think I remember when I was still playing Battlefield 1, people were going, oh, Battlefield 5 is going to be fucking fantastic. And didn't really end up being that great in comparison to even Battlefield 1. So
yeah. I know New World had a rough day today as well. capped out at 90K as the new peak. Which for a Mondays are generally lower, but this is a decent low.
That seems like an oxymoron to some degree, but all right. Yeah. It's funny because like certain people in EVE Online are like, "Oh, New World's dead," and I look at the number of people playing New World and the number of people playing EVE Online. I'm like,
there's still triple the number of people playing.
Still triple the number, playing New World than it is playing EVE Online. But you know, fuck it.
Yeah. So obviously,
I guess
some numbers. Obviously, there are other platforms like you can play off the EA platform for Battlefield 2042. But when the game launched, it had a peak player base on Steam of 122,000 concurrent users, which not an overly great showing, but it did not go up from there at all.
True.
Its daily high today was 9,000. I'm not missing a zero there.
although if
now there's still other sources, and there's other the console versions and stuff like that, so there are other people playing. That said, that's a pretty solid barometer for that game's success, and unfortunately,
I mean,
there's none.
If we're gonna be fair here, right? If we're gonna be fair here, 100,000 down to 9,000, is kind of roughly, comparatively equivalent to nearly 1 million down to 100,000.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong here. I'm in no
speaking.
way stating that New World is anywhere in the same boat here. I am saying that New World is in the same boat here.
Yeah.
There
is a retention
the difference
issue.
there is that like people have stopped playing Battlefield because the game doesn't function still.
Yeah. No, that is
you
true.
can play New World.
You can get a good solid, double, triple figures in New World, without like starting to run to Reddit to basically say like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Whereas you couldn't do that in Battlefield 2042.
Yeah. Which is it's all kinds of bad. I'm not saying it's in a particularly good state for New World either, because most of our show tonight is going to be talking about community sentiment, which is not great at the moment.
Yeah. There's a few things wrong. There's a few things that I don't think people have picked up on too much. There's some people who picked up, but I think they're deep-rooted kind of problems that I think AGS kind of need to face.
Yes.
One of those things where it's not bug fixes, it's not like coming up with new content, but it's like more deeply set core concepts that they need to sort of have a bit of a rethink about. We'll discuss this. We'll break into that kind of conversation in the actual show sort of thing. But yeah, there's some stuff there that it's like the third kind of aspect of of supporting a game in the long term, right? Is you bug fix, you make new content but you also have to revisit current designs in the game and see whether they're actually functioning the way that you wanted them to, or if they're not functioning the way you wanted them to, whether the reason why they're not functioning is because the core concept is bad or whether the implementation is bad. So yeah, some interesting conversation around that.
Yeah. I think this actually toes into something else as well. it toes into the not believing everything you see online. Because there's certain elements of truth out there, and every lie is best accompanied by a small element of truth to make it believable. And I'm going to showcase one of them here. So this thread was posted the other day to the forums, and this is basically a call out. A member of my company has been banned for no reason. A member of my clan has almost 800 hours in game and has been banned for no apparent reason. She's trying to reach Amazon Game Studios support, and no one helps her. It's outraging how fragile the accounts are on the game. She didn't do anything wrong or insult anyone. I know her and in the company, there is a rule of zero toxicity and drama. Please, GMs or Amazon support, if you really care about your game, or and you're passionate about players and don't want them to give up, please fix this, because I've been searching for similar reports like this, and there's a ton. And I give the users, information and all that. This was then closed.
So we've heard, the thing is, we've heard this kind of stuff before, right?
Yeah.
There's been many accounts where where people have said like, "Oh, I haven't done anything wrong. I've been completely fine. We've got this policy of no toxicity whatsoever. All of that kind of stuff." Obviously, there Muggsy, mentions that he's closing it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was some finalization.
They closed the thread, which basically, hey, this isn't how you appeal. Like, if you want to appeal, go through the normal process. Muggsy comes back into the thread with this absolute jewel of a comment right here, because this tells you everything that you need to know. For the record, I read this user's chat logs. They were temp banned, and that ban has now expired, and it was 100% justified. In most of these cases where people post about how innocent someone is, when I get the facts from the moderation team, they always have done or said something awful. This case is the same.
Fuck.
It's one of those things where it's like, that is, like, one, I love Muggsy because he takes no shit from anybody. And, like, it's just a great way to turn around and go, we're closing this, you should appeal elsewhere, but also, this is full of shit. Like,
yeah. That was good.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, this is, from the perspective of, like, managing the subreddit, how do you moderate for stuff like this? Because who is telling the truth, who isn't? And the reality is, most of them, and this goes, this is the same experience that I've had when moderating the subreddit, where somebody appeals, like, I did nothing wrong, why am I banned? And it's like, look at your chat history. Like, your chat history is the worst. Like, you're a few red flags of a fucking Nazi rally, and like, what are you appealing for? You're so far in the wrong, it's not even close. Like, that's the level of, like, people don't understand that they are in the wrong, and they think because they've gotten away with it in other games, that Amazon's gonna put up with it, and they don't. And I think that's great. It should make people wonder every time you see one of these posts, if there's a community manager who's willing to put this kind of phrasing out there against people, that how many of these other times where people have been, oh, I got banned for this, and it's bullshit, and it's like, yeah, but also you were probably banned for legitimate reasons.
Exactly.
Like, I'll be the first one to say it, and I've said this on so many shows and and that is moderation is a wildly misunderstood concept because people think it happens instantly. Like, oh, I said, good fight, or, GGEZ, and they banned me for it. No, they probably banned you for something like 14 hours ago, or on your last play session. Not likely the thing that was happening at the moment. If they were that fast, then like, hey, great. But
this goes all the way back to the old milking the cow.
Got banned for milking a cow. It's like, no, you didn't. You got banned for being super toxic in chat before your stream started.
Just so happened that the moderators got to that particular that particular issue that somebody reported you for, at the time when you were milking a cow.
Yeah. So I thought that was some special stuff for you guys to see early on in the pre-show here. Like, people wonder why I get so salty about like moderation topics, and it's because there's so many people out there who try and, oh, I'm so innocent. No, you're not. Like, a cursory glance at your chat history has revealed that was a lie.
I'm so innocent. I didn't mean to, give my account details to another alliance's CEO in order to log in and transfer their whole alliance over to mine. Some people may get that. Like, some people may get that reference. Let's just say it had something to do with EVE Online somewhat recently.
I'm not saying Amazon's infallible either. Like, they make mistakes as well. No. But I would argue that the majority of cases where people feel that they're innocent, they're also full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, being totally real here. Like, and this comes from the experience moderating the subreddit, which, like, if you guys have ever seen the subreddit, it is a cesspool. And yes, we do actually take moderation action against a sizable amount of people every day, but yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to hold back the flood. There's been many times where Amazon has been caught out basically, doing something that they shouldn't have been doing, like, or hitting somebody in a way that they shouldn't have. Classic cases when that particular content creator got hit with a DMCA flag, right?
Got hit with a DMCA flag because there was an ad that Google AdSense played, and they were intending to report the ad, but instead reported the YouTube video that the ad was playing on. That was the ad itself was selling gold, so like, not a thing you really want.
Although technically it wasn't actually copywriting anything, like that was the method in which they, for whatever reason, decided to utilize to pull the video down as fast as they could. So, so that particular kind of ad seller or gold seller wouldn't, profit from having that advert there. The thing with that is, like, and we should give props. We should give credit where credit's deserved. Like, Asmongold, went kind of almost out of his way to make sure that that was seen by Amazon as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. So he did some pretty fucking solid work on that, which was fantastic.
Yes. As much credit as I want to give him on that one.
And if you didn't see our show last week, like, we were basically going through talking about how bots and RMT are kind of like, starting to really, really fuck with the game. Mm-hmm. Amazon Games hasn't really kind of grasped that properly yet. We're not entirely certain how long that's going to take for them to be able to get a hold of that situation. If you look at the forums, if you look at the dev posts in the forums, they have said that they are aware of the issue and that they're working on the issue. So, at least there's that. It would be nice if they communicated that better than just replies on random, posts. Like, we've had these dev letters, to the community before. I kind of feel like, that's still deserved. That's still something that they should do as a sort of an outreach kind of thing, as a way to sort of keep in touch with the community and let the community know that they know of certain issues and that they're trying to work on those issues. Because that's the thing, if you leave a vacuum there, it'll be filled by people who most likely will have thoughts, negative thoughts as to what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Or what you're not doing. Let's put it that way.
They did have an 1.5 hour long video that did cover bots and other issues. And February, according to the roadmap that they delivered in that, February should be almost entirely dedicated to dealing with the botting problem, among other fixes.
Yeah, but it's, I think some people are wondering, if there's no fixes coming in January, like, are we going to be able to survive till January before, a lot of people just basically get so aggravated that they, sort of start not playing anymore. And, once you start down that path of not playing, then like it's a lot easier for other games, other IPs to grab hold of you and tempt you into a different place than, than keeping with, what you're used to and what you're used to playing. So that's what I'm concerned about.
The Streamlabs or Stream Elements that we use for. Apologies for the auto mod that nuked the comment there. Can we get rid of that one altogether?
I'll go turn the botting one off again.
Because until the botting problem's solved,
I think we should just turn that off.
Well, half of our streams have ended up about botting, so
yeah.
Apologies, bot's just not set right on that one. It's kind of an odd system. The other thing that's going to happen here is that there are a number of very big games that are going to be happening soon. For those that are living under a rock, Elden Ring comes out late February, which is going to be a just incredibly big game, and early February, a game that already has a large population playing and is only released in a couple of countries, is Lost Ark. Lost Ark is a Korean MMO that's being rebuilt by Amazon, that we're going to be covering on our channel here as well, because frankly it is a great game. I've played both technical alphas and the betas, and I'm absolutely loving it so far. So, show starts on the hour. So, we normally do an hour-long pre-show to have everybody kind of file in. This is kind of like our version of just chatting. Because we'll hit on random topics and we'll bounce to and from New World stuff, but we've got planned content for the actual showtime.
Mm-hmm. I know it's super itchy today for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. So, but I'm actually really looking forward to Lost Ark. The time to max level is only if you're cooking it is about 25 hours. If you're slow running and doing all the side quests and all that, then it's going to take you a bit longer. But I think the world record is 10 hours. It's pretty crazy. But it's a game that's designed to also have alts and has various different classes and stuff like that. I think there's obviously a stark difference in between New World and Lost Ark, but Lost Ark plays more like Diablo. you know, it's a top-down. Trying to find the right.
You're just trying to find the. A decent video of it.
I suppose I should probably turn the.
You'll create unique and powerful characters. Customize their look and feel. Enhance your skills. Acquire new and powerful weapons. Explore solo or party up with friends. And that's just the beginning of the adventure in Lost Ark. Before you jump into all that Arcasia has to offer, you'll have to select your class. Lost Ark features 5 unique character classes, and each class has a choice of powerful advanced classes, giving you the freedom to play exactly how you want to. Every advanced class features a distinct set of abilities that allow you to specialize even further. No matter which unique class combo you choose, you'll have the ability to take on whatever Arcasia throws at you. Using the unique tripod system, you'll acquire skill points and customize your abilities to fit your playstyle. Each combat skill can be further upgraded 3 times to create hundreds of different combinations of unique and powerful abilities. Make your skills hit harder, fly farther, and cast faster, depending on how you want to play. There's no end to Lost Ark's rich story, detailed quests, and engaging characters. Arcasia is a massive and mysterious world, under attack by powerful demonic forces who are trying to find the Ark, a powerful artifact that keeps the universe in balance. Kazaros, Lord of the Abyss, wants to use the power of the Ark to escape his volcanic prison and blanket the world in darkness. You'll have to quest, collect, fight, and explore to rediscover the lost secrets of Arcasia and assemble the Ark, restore its power, and defeat the demon army. Getting around the islands of Arcasia is no easy feat, so you'll have to make sure that your sailing ship and its crew are up to the task. Sail the seas to explore new lands. Pull into port to customize your ship's look. Recruit the right crew for your quest. And chart a course through dangerous waters. Build, customize, and upgrade your own island fortress to use as your home base, fleet headquarters, and crafting workshop. Gather raw materials like herbs, wood, and precious gems to craft powerful battle items and upgrade your stronghold. Venture into deadly cinematic dungeons to take on Arcasia's greatest threats. Once you've conquered Arcasia's dungeons, put your skills to the test by surviving endless waves of relentless enemies in Chaos Dungeons. Or hunt and vanquish Lost Ark's most powerful raid bosses for a shot at big rewards. Put your skills to the ultimate test in 3-on-3 player versus player combat. PvP arenas create a level playing field, allowing you to customize your stats and abilities for the perfect loadout, and defeat other players in combat to win epic loot. Whether you play with a guild, a group of friends, or solo, there's no end to the adventures you'll have in Lost Ark.
All right. So obviously, there's a lot to be excited about there. And thanks for the sub, by the way.
You know what? You know what I really like about the name Lost Ark.
Now, what's that?
And you're gonna either hate me or love me about this, but like, if you consider the T at the end of it as not the lost part of it, but loss, and then the T goes on to the end of Ark, the start of Ark, to make Lost Tark, right? Tark is basically the word in, I believe, according to the Tolkien Gateway, it's an Orcish word that's just used to basically describe like a person of Numenorian heritage, basically humans.
Interesting.
So you end up getting lost humans.
Very interesting.
Which is weird. I find that strange.
I know. I was looking for stuff on it earlier today because I've been watching just a ton of stuff on YouTube, and it keeps getting confused with is it Lost Ark Survival or Ark Survival or something like that. The like very different one. But yeah, felt that was worth showing people because that is content that we are going to be covering on this channel. We'll be doing some let's plays, actually playing through the game, having some fun with it, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I know it's not New World, and I know there's a few people that are going to be like, yeah, but you guys are a New World show. Like, we're also going to be expanding outside of New World and having other games, having other shows. We've got a variety show that's in the making right now that talks, kind of entertainment, gaming news as a whole. And yeah,
and a few other people coming onto the crew as well.
Yes,
not just me and A's.
Yes, so if you guys like our content and enjoy it, like, one, make sure to hit follow. Make sure to join the Discord. We recently rebuilt our Discord because people complained. And here's our goal with the redesign on the Discord. I never want to ping everyone. Like, unless it is something that is just stupid important that absolutely everyone needs to know, I don't want to ping everyone. So we've rebuilt it in a way that allows people to see the content that they want to see, where you select the game or shows that you're interested in receiving the content, or interested in seeing the channels for. So you're not getting bombarded with a bunch of channels that are, updating that you're never going to keep up with.
Yeah.
But also giving you the option to opt in to getting pinged on Discord that, hey, we're going live with New World content, and you can actually see that on our Discord, where instead of pinging everyone, we're now pinging there's a specific thing. Ping New World.
The specific role. Yeah, the specific role that if you wanted to, you opted in to get pings about New World content. So yeah. I think that we kind of feel like that's better overall for for people who want to be a part of the Discord, may not be there specifically for certain content relating to New World, but relating to something else. Instead of getting pings that they don't actually want, they get pings that they do want.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely helps with ping fatigue.
So that's kind of the goal. We wanted to make sure that everybody had visibility, that, like, hey, people will still see the channel, that the announcement that, hey, we're going live is in, but it's not going to ping your mobile devices and stuff like that. And of course, the other thing I got to clarify, because this continues to be an issue, and we do this because of botting. There's a setting for moderation on Discord that allows us to require require accounts connected to our Discord have to have a validated phone number attached to them. And the reason for that is, of course, bots aren't going to go through that extra effort. We don't get that phone number. That's just like, if you set up a PayPal or something, with a phone number as a validated thing, PayPal sees it, but like the companies that, companies that you're buying stuff from don't. It's the same with Discord. Discord gets that information, we don't. But it adds to the security and really focuses in on preventing preventing botting from being an issue. Because I don't want our server to be somewhere that people go to that they have to worry about clicking a link. That said, we also want to encourage people to promote their videos, promote content, promote, whatever it is you want to talk about. There's probably a room on the Discord to talk about it. If you have a Twitch channel, if you have a YouTube channel, and you just want to say, hey, what do you guys think of this? I've watched a number of things. God knows McLeod here knows the random stuff that I watch on YouTube.
It is random. Like, you watch some random stuff sometimes.
I literally watched what can only be considered as like Japanese play robot fighting.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a weird one that you sent me.
It's not translated. I don't understand the rules of what's going on, but it's really funny to watch.
It is, actually.
So,
all the taunting as well. Like, that's what I didn't get about it. It was like, you got two robots taunting each other. It's like, hang on, what's going on? There must have been a style point kind of like aspect to that game.
Yeah.
That's all I have to. That's all I can, work out.
Oh yeah. So tons of good stuff on that front. We're happy to be moving forward. We're happy to be kind of growing, not just the base of our stuff, but also growing into new content and taking the lessons that we've learned from doing New World into other shows that hopefully should let people in on that. When will they release the next update? That is a good question, and they pseudo hinted at when. January 25th appears to be I believe January 25th. If not January 21st or the 25th. It'll be one or the other.
Well, I mean, not wanting to be that kind of guy, but I'm thinking it's more going to be the 25th rather than the 21st.
Because that's a Tuesday, and that's their normal day to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and launching a patch on a Friday, and not being around on a Saturday and Sunday because of office hours would be a little bit fucking awkward. Yeah. If it goes a little bit awry,
One thing to note, and I feel like most of the community forgot about this, is that despite the fact that they have Amazon in their name, the studio that's working on this is only like 250 people. And believe it or not, they too took a vacation between Christmas and New Year's. So there's the reason that there's not a major update, January 11th here, is that, hey, there's, they're catching up from taking a much needed vacation, because they've basically been all hands on deck since launch, trying to deal with all the problems. So I think there's an element of cutting them a little bit of slack here. I'll be very curious to see what makes it in the January update. We know that mutators are in there. we know a few things, but I'll be very curious to see what else makes it in.
I'll be curious to see what makes it without significant changes or changes with as a result of player feedback, because
Yeah,
as you will find out in the show, there's a fair amount of player feedback, to say the least.
Yeah, and the other thing here is the winter event and the server merges. Like, I think just about everybody's pretty thrilled with how those went. Like, especially like some of the mechanics are things that we really want them to keep long term. So like the meteors, that right there is just quality content. Just change it to star metal or star metal or a Kelcum or like something rare that
I like it as a way of of seeding dynamic kind of resources into the world, right? Because at the moment, like we all know where all of the iron nodes are. We all know where the fucking platinum nodes are. We all know where the star metal and orichalcum nodes are. Like, it's just at that point it's kind of it's already the game's sort of solved from a from a resource collection sort of standpoint. Dynamic nodes is something that a lot of games have, and it's something that I think New World needs. The way that they seed Gleamite into the world with the with the meteors, it is fantastic. If anything, like you could use that as a way of not seeding in iron nodes, but for example, you could have it as uncovering iron nodes. The crashed meteor kind of like scrapes away terrain to show up certain deposits, for example. It doesn't need to be something that is putting deposits down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways they could go with that, and like I think the overarching thing is that they did the right thing, they're doing the right thing, they're making the winter event itself, I would argue, is a pretty solid success. That said, now it's a matter of what's next, and there's plenty that needs addressing before they choose to move on to something else. And we're going to get into that in the show, because they're making some changes that I don't know that we're 100% for yet.
Yeah, there were some changes that I was very much of a fan of, like how giving a bit of a some good changes to crafters after all of the changes to expertise and to gypsum and stuff like that was fantastic. But like there's a multitude of other changes that I wasn't certain about.
For the record, we're gonna be prepping for the show here for the next 5 minutes. We do start right on the hour in order to prevent ads from showing as mid-rolls during the show. I'm gonna hit the ad button to push them now, so that they go now instead of when we're covering something actually important.
Yep.
But yeah, I actually like that idea too. I really want the ability to put bounties on people. Would be even better, as if you're the person who picked up the player bounty and you're close to the bounties player, would automatically flip them. See, I don't think people are going to go for that.
Yeah, that'll like. So I kind of.
I do like a bounty system though.
I see where, for example, that would be a good system to deal with, for example, bots, that kind of thing. But I think it would be heavily abused. Like, I understand that system would be fantastic at dealing with, with like harvesting bots and all that kind of stuff. It's just the other thing, the thing you always have to have in mind is when you're, thinking about ideas or systems to put into an MMO, you have to think of it in the sense of, how can I take this system and abuse the ever-loving shit out of it? And if you can, then you need to rethink it or think about it from a different perspective and change it from a different perspective. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you kind of start to realize the more and more you play MMOs, and the more and more you kind of like think critically about MMOs. Is like, it's great to think of a system that works the way that you want it to, but it's when other people come at it from a different angle with a different frame of mind, different perspective on how to use it. That's when you do it. That's what you need to do when you're thinking about systems.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and swing back at something in chat here. They're people. They deserve vacations. They deserve time off. And if you think otherwise, you need to reevaluate your priorities. And for the love of God, don't become a manager of anything.
I think the key point of the phrase is too many vacations.
Because they've been going full out since launch, and yeah, they took a vacation for the holidays, but that's a major holiday season. It's a good time to take off. Like, just cut them some slack. That said, yes, like there are problems in the game. Everyone knows this. Like, I think that that's, functionally speaking, half of our show tonight is going to be covering problems in the game. Our entire show last week was talking about RMT and botting. So like, there's plenty of problems. Those problems exist in many other games as well.
If you want to watch that,
some other ones though. So
yeah, if you want to watch that show, by the way, it's also on it's up on YouTube now.
Now the other thing is Amazon's also double tapping staff to work on multiple projects. For instance, the same studio that's working New World is also working on Lost Ark, which sure the scope of changes is very different. The scope of control there is very different, but it's still very much a different, or very much a lot of work. Like it's a different stage of development, sure, but like it's still a lot of work. Like prepping for a second consecutive launch out of the same studio is huge. Not to mention the rest of AGS is working on unannounced games. Like, I'm just talking about the San Diego studio. I'm not even talking about the Montreal studio. I'm not talking about the Seattle studio or any of the other locations that have not announced the game that they're working on. Yeah. Although we know the one in Montreal is a first-person shooter because they hired a whole bunch of Rainbow Six Siege devs.
Mm-hmm. That should be interesting.
But
yeah, should we sort of clear the air or clear the way for in terms of ads?
Already done.
Probably start the show.
Already done.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So with that, we're going to start the show. We'll be back momentarily. We will see you when we start it off.